Sometimes in life, stuff happens and people
Mm-hmm.
blame things. They blame the people around them. They blame themselves. They blame God.
Mm-hmm.
Can I forgive God?
Can you forgive God?
Can I forgive God?
Did
Because
he wrong you in the first place?
okay, think about perspective. Hard time, I'm blaming God. God ain't did nothing for me. I have seen it on too many movies. I
Yeah,
be in the
no.
movie
I can
blaming.
I can kind of speak to it.
Mama, he did it.
Yeah. Turn me up. I can't hear it. Turn me up. I can't hear it. Mm. Back with another episode. Yeah, you know it's your boy J Leg, and we finna go talking about this cash money, talking about this stuff. What you mean, girl? You bet not buck them eyes at me. Next time I'ma pick them out and roll them down the hill. Yeah, I'ma make you pay all my bills. Mm. The light bill and the Wi-Fi. Girl, you better hope you like. Riding through the city, boy, I'm looking clean and I'm looking too pretty. Back on the show, and I'm about to spit. Boy, you better watch out this J leg get, and I'm back in this thing 24/7. Boy, you shut up, I will see you to heaven. Ooh,
well, shut
on
up.
the
Come
show
on with it.
today, just got the green shirt and the glasses with the braids. And we on the show. We did it podcast. Here we go. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another special edition of the Mommy Did It podcast. I'm your boy Jay Leg, and she.
Yeah, girl, Jess, aka R. Lean. That's my middle name. Don't call me that because you don't know me.
You don't know her, Jessica. I wish I had a
Yeah,
sound effect like a boosh. How are
I'm
you
glad
today?
we don't.
I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it, and I'm gonna be loud.
we've got enough of that already. But I'm doing well today. Had a full day of Zoom. Uh Other than that, I
Zoom.
stood in line at Sam's to get a rotisserie chicken, and I've been here.
Oh, you did that
That's
Popeye recipe
yeah,
with the chicken. I sent that to you, didn't it?
yeah. That's the one. Which one you thought I was talking about?
I didn't know what you were talking about. So yeah, Jessica made chicken pot pie recipe, and she used chicken that was already cooked. She didn't boil it. She went to Sam's, right?
Sam's. Got a
And she
rotisserie chicken.
ordered
It's a
she ordered
three-pound chicken for $4.98. That's a
and
steal.
she ordered them previously, and she showed up right before they closed. They half off, close to the end of the day. Save you some
What
money
are
there.
you talking
So
about?
then she went inside of Sam's, went home, shredded the chicken, noodles, stock, vegetables, and bread,
Well,
and
ain't
put
no
it in the
noodles
oven.
in the pot pie.
Oh, why not noodles? I meant bread, vegetables, chicken stock, oven, chicken, oven. Ain't that what you did?
I don't know if explaining it would even matter at this point.
But yeah, so if you go, I saw this video. Dude was like a way to save money. Oh, that was on BS High. You seen that thing on goddamn HBO Max?
No, I haven't been on the streaming platforms
Uh,
lately.
Buddy said he had a football team. He was trying to figure out how to feed them, so he would call Kroger's or Publix. He'd call them early in the morning to make like 20 rotisserie chickens, and he'll order the 20 rotisserie chicken. Then he wouldn't show up to like 6 before they closed or something crazy. Then he'll go get all the ones they had left over. So they'll be marked off half off. They'll be like $2 for a chicken.
Oh, like he would pre-order how many he need and hope nobody bought them.
And he just hoped nobody bought it. He'll always order a bunch of them. They'll cook a bunch of them. He just would never show to pick them up until the end of the day when they
They
was
probably
marked
would
down.
like block him at some point, I would think.
I don't
Like
think
for
he did
him
it at
not to
all
be
the
able
same
to
time.
order.
I don't think he did it at the same place all the time. But I was like, that is
That's
freaking
crazy.
genius. It's
No,
crazy
that's
to eat
really
a
like
chicken that's
messed
been
up.
out all
You
day
got them,
long. It's messed up.
bruh.
That is
It's just all
messed
the chickens that people really had to cook in preparation. That would annoy me if I was working there. I'm like, bruh,
up.
like I'm
it
not even
probably would
finna
have
cook them.
it probably
He
would
not
have
gonna
known
show
you
up.
Like you probably wouldn't. Now the first time he gonna get away with it. It just is what it is. He gonna get away
Oh
with
yeah,
it.
the first time for sure. Unless he had to like put a down payment on it.
No, he ain't put no down payment. He just ordered it, and they just start cooking.
That's crazy that they don't make you like prepay like a percentage of it. Like I would do
That's,
that if I owned a store.
that's because
Like
it's gonna stay at
because
the store. But still, it could have stayed froze.
yeah, like it could have just not been cooked and wasted. Because this thing's got a shelf life, which is why they getting knocked down.
Bro, that's wild. When I heard that, I just bust out. I was cutting my hair watching the documentary, and I was like, "This is the funniest thing I have ever heard on a documentary." He's like,
Could
"Yeah,
have
I
just
just."
got some deli trays or something.
He was trying to pay the minimum. He said he'll buy like 20 chickens for like $10.
20 oh, them chickens was old. That wasn't even the ones they cooked that day.
No cap, them was ones from yesteryear.
Yeah,
But
he could have
guys,
just came the night after.
yeah. But I ain't lit my candle. Good gracious, look at life. What is life without a lit candle for the podcast? But anyway, guys, I'm doing all right. Just working, trying to get it out the mud.
Really sorry.
Being blessed, can't never be stressed because God saves me and the rest. I'm doing all right. I'm not stressing. We living, we loving. I got on real turquoise. Jessica got on.
Well, that's baby blue.
This ain't baby blue. This is technically like turquoise.
That's baby blue.
You got on
candy.
blue green. You got on blue green.
Close. Blue green is that colors that make up turquoise at least. You got on blue and white.
This ain't baby blue. This like turquoise, bro.
That's not turquoise.
Okay, anyway. All right, guys, man. We got a great show in store for y'all, man. I've been doing good. We gonna keep it pulling. If you haven't done things down below, make sure you do this doggone stuff now. Cause we about look at here. This episode 51. Now I'm not gonna keep begging y'all and asking y'all. I'm gonna ask Ashley one more time now. Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe. Follow us on all social medias. Basically, that's it. Leave us 5 stars on anywhere you get your podcast. If you listen to the sound of my voice, make sure you leave 5 stars. Do that for us, everybody. Please do that for us. But we got a good show in store. This is the topic tonight. Man, we just been dropping bars lately. This was a suggestion by one of the friends of the potty. One of the friends of the pod. And so tonight, we're going to get straight into it, boo. Bookity boo. So sometimes the Bible says, turn the other cheek. Cheek. But you only turn twice because you ain't got but 4. You got 2 up top, 2 down low. So you can only turn a certain amount of times. So if you slapped on one cheek, what you supposed to do? The Bible says forgives them 70 times 7. Amen. Can I get some snaps, some claps? Amen. Lights and walls. I don't hear nothing.
I can't snap really. That's good, kind of for me.
That's good for you. 20.
Yeah, if I do my left hand,
trash. If we can,
food cheese.
Terrible, horrible, el terrible. This is the thing. We have to start thinking about how do we treat people when they treat us wrong. And so I got a little battle, a question of the F. You ever heard of that song FNF?
Yes.
FREE. Tonight, the song for us is FVF, forgiveness versus forgetting.
Bro, that was so corny.
I was trying to get it but anyway. So to kick this thing off, I'm gonna ask a simple question. What does forgiveness look like, and what does forgiveness look like? Then the question that binds everything together is, can I do both of them? Not both, both. BOFF, both of them. I'm gonna let Jessica go first because I protect Black women on this channel.
It's the fact that you say that every time, and it's only because you don't want to go first.
Because I ain't never stopped protecting Black women. Period.
Okay, go check out episodes of 1, 2, and 3 and see how that went. So
I've been protective.
As far as what is forgiveness,
do you want the Merriam-Webster?
Yeah, give the Merriam-Webster first.
Let me get on the... Oh, snap. I done knocked you off the screen. Let me get on the Merriam-Webster and pull it over yonder way.
Off the screen.
No, I'm talking about, I'll be trying to do too much. Define for God now. Okay, bam. Ooh, I got. Ooh, God just moved through me. Let me define.
What? Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
Uh-huh.
There's so many levels to it. That's why I need the
Uh-huh.
definition.
All right, here we go. We finna cue it up right now for everybody. Now, if you can't see this, I'm sorry, everybody. You should watch us on YouTube. If you can't see this and you just want to hear this, you should watch us and listen to us on something else. But we out here in the streets. We out here in the
Well, share this screen. I don't see nothing.
podcasting streets, like Tom Bat. All right.
Oh, there's an airplane. Let me mute for a sec.
You all right? All right, boom. So here we go. Merriam-Webster, aka Google, defines forgiveness as the action or process of forgiving or being forgiven. Okay.
That's like the worst definition.
This was
like,
the
don't use
worst.
the word in the word.
I'm gonna just put define forgive because they just played with my top. All right, here we go. Forgiveness. Stop feelings of angry or resentful towards someone or an offense, flaw or mistake. For an offense, flaw or mistake. I can't talk. All right. So I said I took upon liberty of myself to look up the biblical version of what does forgiveness mean. Forgiveness is an act of pardoning an offender. Pardoning an offender. Ooh, these words is my tongue is beating me up. Forgiveness is the act of pardoning an offender, and in the Bible, it is defined as letting go of sin. Okay. All right. What is forgetting? Forgetting is fail to remember. It's a real simple definition, Jessica. I don't even feel like I had to look that up for you to really understand what that meant. But now I'm going to let you dive into the question at hand. Please delve in, please.
Okay. So for me, I look at forgiveness in two aspects, like forgiveness towards the person that might have inflicted like the wrongdoing that was described in the definition, and also forgiveness for yourself, right? Like we always hear that you can unshare this screen. We always hear forgiveness isn't for the other person, it's for you. And I think it's phases to both of that. Like I think it's kind of both. Like yes, forgiveness is for yourself, but if you don't forgive the other person first, you won't forgive yourself.
Yeah.
Like when I look at forgiveness, like okay, it's easier for me to forgive the other person. This is just my personal experience. It's easier for me to forgive the other person before I forgive myself for allowing that situation to happen or not noticing like the red flags prior to the pain or whatever it was that happened from this mistake, right? I look at forgiveness almost as like a definitely not a synonym to grief, but I think it is a process like grief when you're going through the process of forgiveness. Like you require forgiveness when there's a loss of something, whether there's a loss of hope, there's a loss of trust, a loss in a relationship. So that's how I look at it for like towards the person, and then like for forgiveness toward myself, which is a lot harder. It's more this little net, but it's more so it's harder because it's a mental block at that point, because forgiveness towards yourself is what impedes you from moving forward. It's like the actual concept of forgiving the other person doesn't necessarily stop you from moving forward or staying in one spot, but if you can't get over the anxiety or the stress that it's caused you because of that, like forgiving yourself for being in that situation, for allowing it to occur as long as it did, or to I think there's a lot of resentment or guilt towards yourself when something goes bad and you feel like you could have prevented it if you only didn't like dismiss these other qualifiers that told you, hey, let's slow down, So I think that's the biggest aspect for me personally. But I'm not
I
gonna go into
think
forgetting it.
to me, forgiveness, the ability to let it go. Me personally, I'm gonna be honest. Me and you are totally opposite on this right here. See, one thing about Elliot ain't gonna stay mad at Elliot for long. Now, one thing you got me messed up. Look, now I haven't ever done nothing so crazy to where I need to hold on to something over my head for long. Like I ain't never like had nothing crazy happen. But the stuff that I have done that was wrong that I did forgive myself for, it was like a 40 to 50-minute process. It wasn't like I sit there and ponder this all day. Look, one thing about me, I gotta live with me. I'm not finna be here mad at me all day. Well, I'm mad at me for all day. Shoot.
Well, I say it that way because I can only control me. Like when I look at something somebody else might have done or caused me harm, it's just like that's on them. Like they did that, they chose to do that. But if I could have just prevented myself from doing this, then I probably wouldn't be as hurt as I am.
Oh, I guess it's from a different perspective. See, you good at a lot of stuff. I mess up a lot of stuff. Like I would screw up some stuff. So like I have broken several keys in a lock on multiple occasions.
That doesn't involve another person. I'm talking about when it's involving a different person. Like forgiveness of self.
I have said stuff to folks sometimes, and I knew it was gonna come off the wrong way, and I was like, "Dang, I apologize." And see, this is how I get over it. Once I come to you and apologize, just know I just forgave myself in that moment too. Like, and granted, I'm asking you for forgiveness, but I promise you, when I walk away from this, I am big chilling. Like, I ain't gonna say it just rub off super duper easy every time, but 9 out of 10, if I hurt your feelings and we have a conversation or we sit down. For instance, me and Kyla, I can describe this as a bit. She may be hot by something. Okay. She may have the right to be hot. She may have to. And so she could be mad. I could genuinely be sorry. I'd be like, I apologize. It won't happen again. Yada, yada, woo, woo. But within the hour, I am back jolly. I'm not finna sit here and be mad. Look, I just ain't got time.
What I'm saying, I'm like more. It's hard for me to forgive myself. I'm not saying I'm like down and bad the whole time. Like it takes a longer process for me to like actually get over the entire situation. It's not like every day I'm down in the dust. Like I'm just bad off. It might be a period of time where I am like bad off, but that section itself is not long, but it's the continual reminders you have while you're working through that stuff. That's a little bit harder to get over because now I'm working on myself. Like not necessarily my self-worth, but like my self-involvement. Like that person is no longer in the picture, so it's no reason to ponder that idea. But the concept of where I was hurt is still a part of me, so I'm still working through that process. So that's why I say it's harder to forgive in those situations when you're the receiver of a mistake.
Okay.
Now, when you're the inflictor of a mistake, it might be easier to forgive yourself because you know your true intentions. If your intentions are not to be harmful or hurtful towards somebody, and you actually do sincerely ask for forgiveness of them, in that situation, yeah, it might not stay on my mind as long because I know my intentions were true and like honest from the go. Like it was nothing I did to demean or hurt that person. Now, if they perceive it a different way, that's on them. But if I know my intentions are true, then it is in that situation a little bit easier to forgive myself rather than,
even if my intentions ain't true, even that all sound good. Even if my intentions ain't true, and as soon as I ask for forgiveness, 9 times out of 10, I'm gonna be all right in an hour. Like that's just, and I guess that's just my life. Like my whole life is like shooting basketball. I miss a shot, okay, get the rebound, shoot it again, make it good. Then shoot it again, make it again. Like I'm not finna. You gotta forget about the missed shots, and sometimes in life you just gotta keep rolling with the punches, rebound the ball, and go back.
But okay, see, this is the thing though. If you forget about all the missed shots, will you ever learn from them? If you forget about them,
okay. I was saying forget in the sense of shooting basketball. I didn't say I was gonna forget the moral code or what I should have did.
Okay,
but I'm just saying in the sense of shooting ball, it's like dust off and get back up.
No, I'm definitely like a dust off and get back up type of person. Like on the outside, you would never know I'm still wiping off a whole bunch of dust. You would just think I done got up. You know,
my dust. Okay, I get it. I get what you're saying. Maybe you just tapped into your emotions a little more. Like, I guess for me, like, now I'm the opposite though. Now, if you hurt me, it take me a little second to forgive you. Now, like I said, okay.
Yeah.
So this is where my brain confuses forgiveness. My brain confuses forgiveness is I get to the point where it's either I'm forgiving you or I just don't care no more. Like if I don't care no more, that don't
Ooh, that's
like
it right
you get what
there.
I'm saying? Like 9 times out
Yeah.
of 10, I get to the point where I don't care no more before I get to forgiving you. Like it's like, man, I don't care.
That
Then it's like,
I
not
can see
forgive
we
you.
similar there because sometimes in certain situations, like if I like if I don't care, it's just like it is what it is, you know. Like I ain't tripping no more. Like yeah, I forgive you, but I ain't messing with you like that no more.
I'm
Like
not gonna even say I forgive you. It's just I don't care right now.
yeah,
Maybe
but I
maybe
forgive
in a
you
month I
also.
forgive
It's
you.
just
Yeah.
yeah. Now if it's something, I think that's a real key point though. Like if you're at a stage in a friendship or relationship where you stop caring, it's easier to forgive because you have already mentally detached.
I'm mentally checked out.
But if you're in a situation where you're still actively trying and trying to make something work, it's harder to forgive because you can't forget, right? Like if something in a situation of a friendship, like if you get lied on, or if in a relationship where
Mhm.
you get cheated on, it's hard to forget that when you actively trying to forgive that person because everything they do now reminds you of that person or reminds you of this is what happened when you did this. Like you keep connecting the dots and it's harder to actively forgive
Like
when you still in that motion, in that point of care.
people don't piss me off, and I get to the point where I don't care, and then I can forgive you, but I still want to throw hands. Like I don't, my brain act weird, bro. Like I could forgive
Like
you,
we
like
still
yeah, I
can fight
forgive
on
you,
sight.
but on my life we can still duke it out. Like I don't know why I feel that way. This is why I go work out because it helped me blow off a lot of steam. I just be like, bro, I forgive you, we good, but I could really still box you for real. Like right
Yeah,
now, like
I
if you
guess
push me, it's on and popping. Like let's keep it a step.
I'm in the opposite way where like, yeah, I don't care no more. I've forgiven you, but it's also not worth it for me to pursue something more, like in a friendship or a relationship or whatever the case may be. Like it's
Oh yeah,
no
it's nothing being
the
pursued but
rewards,
these
the
hands.
rewards to this is not that's what I'm saying. Like even fighting, like that reward is not worth it
No,
in
it's
that
definitely worth
situation.
it. I want to hit
I
you.
said for me.
Oh, okay. Because like I'm telling you, bro, like people, like it's people that I don't forgave a long time ago, and I could still throw hands with you today. And I don't even know why I was mad, but today I can still,
You need
like
to
I
work
could
on
just
that. I don't think
no.
you
It's
should
like
carry it.
no. I'm saying like I don't hold no grudges. I'm not a grudge holder, but it's just
But
the
you
fact
want to
that
fight him?
I
You
don't
need
want
to
to
remember.
fight you. That's not what I said. You putting words in my mouth. I didn't say I want to fight you. I said we could fight. If you just want to, we can do it. I'm not mad, but I remember what you did. I'm not still holding it over your head. We good. We can sit here, talk and laugh and kick it. But also, I do remember it, so we can still fight about that if you want to. Like I don't want to fight you, but if you want to fight about that, we can still fight about that. That's how I feel
Okay.
about it, bro. That's just how I feel. I don't know. I know my brain works weird, bro. I'm telling you, like I'm the chillest person ever, but we could also still fight about it. Like if you just want to get it over with.
Yeah, I'm like a person on a very weird spectrum. Like I either care a whole lot, I care not a lot at all, or it's just like you're in that even ground where you can move easily to here or there. Like that's it's not
Just to say
no
lukewarm.
yeah, it's like you either lukewarm, you hot on the spectrum of me really caring, or you real cold. So it's just like
Now some stuff people do. Like now, let me ask you this question: Can I forgive and not? Can I forgive and forget? That's not really what I'm trying to say. Trying to figure out how I'm trying to say this.
can you forget and not forget?
Is forgetting a step of forgiveness? That's what I'm trying to say. Is me forgetting what you have done a phase of forgiveness? Is that just how deep my forgiveness is? The fact that I forgot it, or can I forgive you and not forget? Now I'm gonna speak biblical terms here. I just want to know biblically,
Mhm.
which we ain't gotta go find verses and all that. We just talking. But if we were just talking, right? Can I always hear people say, I forgive, but I don't forget.
Yeah.
But then people turn around and say God forgives and forgets.
Yeah, that's
So like
God.
Just to say, try Jesus, not me.
No, I ain't saying it like that, but I'm just saying like
This God.
he's actually capable of doing it. Like, I'll.
Oh.
It's the hard. Like when we define the word forget, like it's like actually forgetting. Like I don't feel like I'm actually gonna forget until like my memory fails me. Like that's just a part of my human nature. Like
But
I have the ability to remember.
I feel like it's some stuff. I guess the part of forgetting is not necessarily forgetting the moment, but forgetting the feeling of the moment, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. I almost in like a different wording, like forgetting the reactions you want to have towards it. Like how you said, like you in those moments you probably actually wanted to fight.
Yeah, but
Like,
now
but
it's
if you
just
walk up on that person today, like you're not trying to fight. Like
I'm not trying to fight you.
Yeah, so like I think that's like the forgetting aspect of it. Like it's hard to be like, oh, I see this person, I just completely erased. I am blind. I'm gonna go in and be buddy again. Like you just don't.
That's what I'm saying.
Sense.
Like that's not the forgetting part. Like see right there, you might have forgave, but you ain't forget. So by you not forgetting, you still hold that over them low key.
That's what I'm saying. Like not necessarily holding it over them, but I am being more cautious. Like I'm not gonna assume everything moving forward you have like bad blood towards me. Like everything you're gonna do is in intentions to hurt me. I think that's the part of forgetting. Like you are still willing if the opportunity came. Would you still be cordial? Would you still pursue an opportunity, even if it had to be through this person? Or would you be like, nope, can't do it? Like, how would that work?
That's a good way of thinking about it. So the good way to tell if you forgave someone is if the opportunity of a lifetime came to that person, and would you take it? Even though the opportunity of a lifetime came to them.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like that's because I feel like you can work with anybody. It's just a matter of how much are you letting that person in or out, right? Like we work with people every day and they don't know the ins and outs of my life. You can still have that same, like in a situation like this, they might say, oh, you got a wall up with me now because of this. No, we're just not on that level no more. We don't have that connection no more. I forgive you what you've done, but we don't have that factor, right? Like I can forgive you and not talk to you. Just because I forgave you don't mean I got to be your best friend again. Like that's not what that is.
All right, so here we go. Boy, she came right into the trap like a little fish. She came. All right, so I did a Bible class once, right? And I brought up this point. I said, as a Christian, can I forgive you and not want nothing to do with you? And I was speaking about it to the point of a Christian versus a non-Christian. If I'm a Christian and a non-Christian wrongs me, I can forgive them, but can I not want nothing to do with them? Can I possibly do that being a Christian? And the reason I said that, I'm gonna see what I want to hear your answer, then I'm gonna come back. So there's the question is, I as a Christian, if a non-Christian wrongs me, and I know what my job is as a Christian, and a non-Christian wrongs me, can I then not want nothing to do with you? I can forgive you, but can I then not want nothing to do with you?
I feel like
them being a non-Christian. All right, go ahead.
The principle is the same for me, right? Because we're taught to love our neighbor, and our neighbor is everybody around us, right? So, in that aspect of in the situation that you gave, I would say I can want nothing. I can personally desire, like that's not a sense of desire, right? Like desire something like that. But if I have to work with them, am I going to be avoidant? Am I going to purposely distance myself from them when I'm supposed to be working with that person? Like, can I actively work with this person, do my job successfully, and then be done?
I'm not talking work. I'm not talking work. I'm talking in life.
In life.
Your job as a Christian is to do what?
Love your neighbor.
And seek to save lost souls, right?
Seek to save lost. Yeah.
All right.
I was just saying this slow.
So there we go. Now, continue.
You're saying, can I want nothing to do? Can I actually not want, or am I actively acting on not doing nothing with them?
So I don't want to do it, and I'm also not doing it because I don't want to do it. So I hear Christians say it all the time. Oh, I love them, but I don't want nothing to do with them. That's Cheryl. I don't want nothing to do with her and her folks. I love them. I forgave them, but I don't want nothing to do with them. If I see him, I don't want nothing to do with him.
I don't feel like that's the right attitude to have.
Of course not.
I don't think it's the right attitude to have.
So what I say, I feel like it is literally, now again, I'm not saying what I'm finna say is easy to do. I'm dang sure ain't saying what I'm finna say.
Oh, yeah,
I have done.
Easy.
I'm not saying it's easy. I'm not saying I have done it. I am not even gonna say there is. I don't have a single verse to back up what I'm saying, but I'm gonna get you as close as I can get you to. All right. I feel like it is physically and spiritually impossible for a Christian to say I don't want nothing to do with a non-Christian just because they wronged me, or a Christian say that to a fellow Christian just because they wrong. I don't think it's possible. Because the goal of a Christian is to seek and save lost souls. The goal of a Christian is to go out in the world and teach the gospel to every living creature. And I don't see how I can do that knowing you a non-Christian and still don't want nothing to do with you. You could have shot my baby and killed him, and I could forgive you. But me in forgiving you has to have love behind it to want your soul to still go to heaven. I don't feel like you as a Christian can not, them two can't, they got to coexist. Like, you got to be able to forgive somebody and still want to do something with them. At least bare minimum, make sure they soul saved. Now, if your brother wrongs you, what it say? Go get your other brother and come to him to discuss it. And if they don't get it, go get another brother. And you just keep going and get brothers and sisters, and we go all talk it out. That's Bible. I just think personally you can't. And I said that in Bible class, and I could see the faces like, oh, I don't know. But I have said it myself. I have heard Christians say, I love, but I don't want nothing to do with them. And I feel like that part of it is the human part saying, I'm protecting my emotions, I'm protecting my space.
Yeah.
But the thing is, if speaking from the Christian aspect, the thing is, as a Christian, and we follow to Christ, you know, we look at it as God, Jesus was a servant while he was here on earth, and still is, but he was a servant while he was here on earth. He went into the streets with the poor. He sat down with prostitutes and poor people, healed the lame and sick. He did all this. So how am I then going to say somebody just because they hurt my feelings or they caused harm to one of my loved ones that I can't then try to save your soul?
Right. And I will go as far as to say, when we say a statement like, you know, well, I forgive them, but I don't want nothing to do with them. Is that true forgiveness then?
Is it? Because if it literally can't be. Because if God forgives me,
because you can, like, don't get me wrong now, you can distance yourself from people. Like, there is a stage in time where, like, it may not be productive, right? Like, we're supposed to hold ourselves to a certain rapport to be without reproach, right? Mm-hmm. And so there may be a certain period where you are not the best person to share the gospel. And just like with certain family members or certain friends, you may not be even though they could be your best friend, your best bud, your favorite cousin, you might not be the person that'll get through to them. So in situations like this, like, granted, I may not want anything to do with them, but do I still love their soul? Is there somebody I know that's also a Christian that may be able to get to them? Is that my way of still connecting? Like, we can connection is not just from me to you. It's like from me to this person. If it's a triangle connection, if I say, hey, if I can give them the information, like, this may help you get through to them because I know them, but they won't receive it well from me.
So long
that's still you doing your job.
As long as the spider web meet back in the middle, we all good.
Right. Like, we had like the example of the sower and the seed, right? Like, somebody plants it gets water, but God gives the increase. Like, it's different parts to it. We may have planted the seed by telling them about it, but hey, I can't water it because they know what I did back in my teens, and they like, man, I don't believe none of what they talk about. Like, you know.
Now, I will say this though. I will say this. You had a good point. I will say that you can love somebody enough to realize you're not the person for that situation.
Right. You can love from a distance.
For instance, I could love my child enough to want them to learn how to play basketball, right? And I teach my child the basics of basketball. But at some point, daddy didn't go pro. daddy didn't play in college.
Like at some point, somebody else got to step in.
Somebody got to step in and get them across to that threshold, that competency, to be able to be successful on the next level. And when you're looking at, in the case of somebody wronged me, I feel like you have to also be careful. A little pushback on my own argument, which I just thought about that because you was talking. A little pushback on my own argument. If me wanting to save your soul, like, okay, let's say I forgave somebody, right? And I approached them, and then me being in a space triggers me to not, trigger is triggering, right?
Right. So situations are definitely triggered. Just because you forgive don't mean it can't get you back exactly where you were.
Let me get off. God, all right. So just because it was triggering, right? Okay, me being in that space may cause me to go home and sin, or me to sin in that space because it is a triggering moment. It's probably best to let somebody else handle it. I forgave them, but me being here still triggering. Let somebody else handle it. Now we all good. Now the goal is achieved by everybody being okay now. I'm done.
Oh, I was just agreeing.
Okay. Yeah, I think this stuff is possible, man. But like I said, this ain't. I knew when I brought that up, it was not going to be an easy conversation. But you got to think about now stepping away from the Bible, which I don't really like to step away from because I'm in my word. But just for old time's sake, when you forgive somebody, what's the saying?
It's more than just the word.
Fool me once, shame on you. Feel me twice, got to put the blame on you. Fool me three
that's
times,
a song.
bump the peace sign, load the chopper, let it rain on you. Ain't that what it goes?
That's very much a song and not a quote.
I know. But fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Fool me three times, bump the peace sign, load the chopper, let it rain on you. That's what J. Cole said.
Yeah, we gotta ignore that third part of J. Cole.
But I mean, you can. I feel like, and again, people always underestimate. They be like, "Just forgive me, baby. Forgive me, baby. Forgive me." Forgiveness is a process.
Do we really know what we asking for when we asking for forgiveness?
What do you mean?
Because a lot of times,
a chip on that dip, a good dip on that chip. What you mean, man?
Like when you said that, like forgive me, baby. That part, like, I don't know why, but like saying that, like, sometimes people ask for forgiveness with no intention of change. Like when we reference, repentance, right? We asking for forgiveness from God, but with that repentance, the honesty in it is that you plan to make a change. Right. But so many times we ask for forgiveness with no intention of changing. We just want to get out of this hard spot. We just want to get out of this comfortable zone in these different types of. We just want we want us to go back to normal, but you have already changed the dynamics of normal.
You have changed normal almost. It ain't the same no more.
Who's that?
I was gonna sing a song, but I didn't want to sing it. Let me ask you this question. All right, so I believe, me personally, I believe forgiveness. You can forgive somebody, truly forgive somebody, and let them go at the same time. And I ain't talking soul perspective. I'm just talking about relationship.
Yeah.
I feel like you can forgive somebody and still let them go, because part of your forgiving process is to get them out your space. Part of your forgiving process is to clean shop, and forgive the whole situation. And once the whole situation is clear, then you can approach it at a better angle. I feel like that's the thing. So a lot of times, dudes be cheating on these women. These women have to get them up out the house. They forgive them, but y'all can still be good co-parents.
Yeah.
But you had to get up out the space though for me to forgive you, because when you ain't here, my judgment's clouded. I can't think straight.
I think forgiveness is a big part of forgiveness is acceptance. And it's like
acceptance of what?
Acceptance of this new normal, right? Because there's something, like I said earlier, like it's a grief process almost. Like it's a loss.
Some things not be undone.
I think some things, physical things, yes, can not be undone. I think you lose a part of you when you lose a person, a relationship, a friendship. I think because that relationship of any kind connects to a part of you, right? And so with that detachment from that person, it's a loss. It's an actual loss of something. And even if that person is still there, you have to accept that they aren't there, like in situations where it's not the loss of a person, but it's just the loss of their existence in your life. You have to accept that they're no longer there. They're not the person you can pick up the phone and call when you need something, because you've lost the trust, you've lost the hope of what the relationship could be. You've formed all these ideas of what was to come. You've a lot of times in relationships and friendships, we imagine what they would look like so far off, and the joy that comes with them. We don't picture the downfalls of relationships and friendships. I think that's one of the hardest parts about like forgiveness, because you have to accept that this imagination, this dream, this thing I foresaw happening is no longer possible. And then it's forgetting, that that's not a possibility anymore. That's the acceptance part of it.
Okay. Now let me pose this question to you. Now this gonna be, I'm digging off in the controversy bucket. I'm gonna give you some good.
Oh my goodness.
Sometimes in life, stuff happens and people blame things. They blame the people around them. They blame themselves. They blame God.
Mm-hmm.
Can I forgive God?
Can you forgive God?
Can I forgive God?
Did he wrong you in the first place?
Okay, think about perspective. Hard time. I'm blaming God. God ain't did nothing for me. I have seen it on too many movies.
Yeah, no, I can kind of speak to it. I think, like, for instance, like when I had my knee surgeries and stuff, right? Like I had an injury year.
How many did you have?
I had 4 knee surgeries, one each year of high school. By year 3, when I had it, I think that was the hardest one. Not because of what it was, like a type of injury. Like at this point, I had been through them all, but like it was like, why? Mm-hmm. Why? Like I didn't understand why is this happening, and why is God allowing this to happen? Mm-hmm. I think that was the biggest question. Not like as if I felt I was being wronged by God, but it's not like he was saying, because this is what's going to lead you to your profession. I mean, it wasn't an obvious moment, right, in time that I knew that was why it was happening. And that because those injuries led to me looking up stuff and figuring out what I wanted to do. All I saw in the moment was, this is preventing me from doing something I love, something I enjoy very much. I can never finish. And it doesn't help that I have all this outside noise too. Like, well, why don't you just give up? And all this other talking like, dang, you injured again? Like yes, what is it? Like, it was so exhausting.
Get all the jokes, your leg ain't it?
Yeah. So just like, it was so very exhausted in the moment. And it was just like, I was very frustrated with the idea of, it's so many other people on this team. Why I gotta be the one that's injured all the time? Mm-hmm. Why you keep letting me get injured? I've worked so hard, right? I worked so hard to get back. I dedicated so much to get back to where I wanted to be, and then I'm knocked down before I reach it. Mm-hmm. And just re-questioning like, why? Looking back now, like several reasons was why. One, it was going to lead me to where I am now with the field of choice that I've selected. And then I think it was the beginning of God getting my attention. Like, hey, you need to focus on me first. Mm-hmm. Like, you're not putting your focus on me, because I know I can like look back now. I can notice like when I was down and hurt and injured, I was praying more. I was studying more. I was more attentive and stuff. And as soon as stuff started getting better, it started to go down. And then he was like, oh, you didn't get the message? Here we go again.
Another knee.
Another one.
Oh, you got that fixed? Tear it again.
Yeah. Facts.
Yeah.
And what's crazy, like even after the third one, I mean, I still had a fourth one, but like on that fourth go round, I was just like, okay, I got it. This ain't for me. Like, this is not what I was supposed to do. You know.
Took only 4 years of high school.
Yeah, it only took 4 years.
Maybe,
but, you know,
just maybe.
I got it. Thanks for the push. You know. So I don't even know what I was talking about at that point. But
what you were saying about forgiving God.
Yeah. Forgiving God. So I don't think necessarily it was about forgiving God. It was more realizing that it was his protection all along.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm not allowing you to succeed here because you need to succeed somewhere else. So like, I think that's the acceptance part of it all. Like in moments, yes, we might feel like we should blame God because we do know he controls all, he allows all. So therefore we want to blame the higher power that we know exists and controls everything. But ultimately, he ain't asking for your forgiveness.
I'm not just saying forgive him for him. I'm talking about just as far as us questioning.
Yeah, I mean, I think at some point everybody does it, right? Like, I think it's almost inevitable, like, to question, because we are an inquisitive being. Like, he made us that way.
I'm gonna tell you one thing, man. I have found myself doing it a couple times. Not necessarily saying blaming God, but just like, bro, he don't let me do nothing.
Yeah,
type stuff. Like, so I can remember. I guess one of the first times when I was trying to do this right here, get that Kappa cane, boy, it took me, boy, I was like, God, dog, like, hey, cuz, golly, I'm smooth as a mug. Give me a shot.
Oh my gosh.
But I couldn't get it. I was like, bro, it's always something. First year, what it was, just didn't get on. Second year, GPA. Third year was the charm. Yo, to the good brothers. All I'm saying is it happens. And I feel like I feel like sometimes we blame God, and I use the term blame lightly, but some people actually do blame them. They get to the point where they blame them, they shave their head, they turn.
But isn't that kind of like an easy way out though? Almost sometimes.
It is, because you're not letting the storm pass. So I feel like sometimes we get caught up so much in the storm that we blame the meteorologist that he didn't tell us it was gonna be this much rain.
Yeah.
Like, what this man said 100% chance, and you get mad because you can't see. You knew it was gonna rain today. You came out here with a rain jacket knowing you needed an umbrella. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like we get into the habit of getting pissed off at the wrong person. Like, stuff happens.
I think that's really what it is. Like, when we can't blame nobody else and we don't want to blame ourselves, we blame God.
Yeah, you blame God. And I feel like as a result of blaming God, then it puts you back in the space of, once you see what his work was working, like how his stuff was planning out. Man, look, I remember
like
one time, and I'm going back now. I'm starting to remember. I'm thinking now that I'm saying it out loud, I remember. Man, I tried to take that during ACT. I took that ACT from 8th grade to 12th grade. The highest score I made was a 21. I made a 21 when I was in 8th grade. That ain't that a shame. The highest score I made was the first time I took it. And I was just like, bruh, how many? My mama kept signing me up for the ACT prep workshop, ACT prep workshop, ACT prep workshop. I just did them over and over again. I did all the books, I did all the CDs, I did the DVDs, the VH1s, the MTVs. I did everything. And your boy still was getting 21s. I couldn't get higher. I even went down to a 19 and came back to a 21. That's how bad.
I don't even remember what I got.
I did it so many times. And so, but all that was just to show me everything gonna be given to you, dog. You know, but at the time, I'm blaming God as to maybe this smart stuff just ain't for me. Because at this point, I'm like, I ain't that athletic. I ain't going pro. I'm not that smart, so I can't be a genius. But I'm a little dusty. It's only so much stuff I can really do. You know what I'm saying? So, and I found myself blaming God, but then I was like, dang, but what said, where there's a Jesus, there's a way. I'm talking about the minimum score to getting the program was a 21. Hallelujah. I got a 21. Hallelujah. They asked for the highest score. They ain't say the most recent. The most recent was a 19. The highest was a 21. So, hallelujah. So I got in, right? And so, you know, things happen, but you just don't realize what you're capable of when you stop putting yourself and your ambitions first. And so, like, I feel like all that was just to put me in a space where I had to stop questioning what was going on around me and question me. Right? I was questioning the side effects instead of questioning the main effect. You get what I'm saying? I was questioning why the ribs wasn't perfect and all the sides jacked up. Don't nobody want you to eat ribs. I'm looking at everything else around me. I'm just saying, like everything around me was going great, but my junk was not going great. Everybody, man, you're so smart, you're so brilliant, but I'm not. I got the highest scores of 21. Like I'm really not that smart. Mother, you so handsome. I ain't got no girlfriend. I'm really not that handsome. Like you so tall. You can really play ball. I am, but I ain't going pro. Like I was mid at everything. You ever lived a life of pure mid? Like I'm good enough just to get in the door. That's like my whole life has been there. I've been mid at everything. I'm good enough just to get in the door. Good enough to stay in the door. I'm not going to excel, but I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna be there. You gonna remember me. My picture gonna be on the wall. I'm just not gonna be at the top of the list on the wall. And that's how my whole life been. But I always blame God. I'm like, bro, I can't do nothing good. What's my great thing? And I was like, you know what? Maybe my great thing ain't none of this stuff I've been trying to do. Maybe my great thing is somewhere. This is all preparing me for my greatness. Right. Maybe piggybacking off on the episode from last week. Maybe I ain't even tapped into my greatness yet. Maybe my greatness is on the other side of this mid. Like I gotta go through the mid to tap into the greatness, And so back to forgiving and forgetting. Like when we talk about forgiving God, man, you gotta realize you gotta stay down long enough. Keep your chin tucked, keep your head down, keep fighting, keep pushing. Don't blame God. Don't blame you. Just figure out ways you can get around or get through your situation. And it's really just that simple. It's simple, but it's hard to do. I ain't gonna ever say it's
very hard to do.
But it's hard to do, especially when you got so much outside noise, so much outside pressures. And a lot of stuff we put on ourselves because we comparing ourselves to people, and we comparing ourselves to others. And sometimes we comparing ourselves to ourselves. I'll be the first to say, right now, I'm not the greatest Christian I've ever been. Mm-hmm. At one point in time in my life, I was a better Christian than I am now. So what do? I'm not going to blame God because I'm not a better Christian. I'm going to focus on why and how can I get back to that spot, or why and how can I improve? And I ain't necessarily got to be that. That was just the best I had been at that point. That don't mean it's the best I'm ever going to be.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. I know I randomly had a thought about the whole forgetting aspect, and I could even argue that we're not supposed to forget.
Okay.
Like, only not forget anything, but like in certain situations, like if we look at the story of Paul, right? Like he talked about how that guy left a thorn in his side, right? So he wouldn't forget what he had done to persecute God's people. So that moment, God wasn't letting him forget because that kept him humble and allowed him to keep doing what it was necessary for the will of God. Some thorns on our sides are meant to be there.
I'll piggyback off of you. Look at the story of Cain and Abel. When Cain killed Abel, what happened to Cain? He got a mark. What was the mark? We don't know, but we know he had a mark. So that mark let everybody know that he did something he wasn't supposed to do because he had something we ain't had. Mm-hmm. Sister Jess in the doggone.
That just came to me. I don't know what you said, but I was like, oh, sometimes we're not supposed to forget.
Sister Jess putting in work, the steeple in the church. Sister Jess.
So like so like the concept, they made me forget what I was gonna say, but the concept of him not forgetting also shows that he wasn't allowed to forget, but that doesn't mean that God didn't forget and actually forgave him of those sins when he repented.
And maybe we're not supposed to forget.
I don't go as far to say that. We're supposed to practice forgiveness and forgetfulness.
Well, I guess the reason I say forget. The reason I say I don't think we're supposed to forget, because if I was supposed to forget, I have a delete button in my brain.
Well, some people do at a certain age. That's why I said at a certain age we are gonna forget if we are provided the opportunity.
Don't be talking it up on me. I don't want the Alzheimer's.
Well, most old people forget something. You don't remember everything about your life. I still don't remember some of the stuff now. I'm just my age, so
yeah. But man, that's a good little conversation, man. You got anything else for the people before we get out of here? You got any closing remarks, Sister Jess?
Forgive how you want to be forgiven. So another sage tree, dang it as well.
Forgive how you want to be forgiven.
Yeah, forgive how you want to be forgiven, because we always use the term like treat people how you want to be treated, but that includes forgiveness. So like if you want somebody to forgive you of something, then you should be just as capable of forgiving them of that.
Man, might drop on Sister Jess, man. I ain't got, hey, shoot, I was gonna add a little something, but I don't even know what to add no more, boy. I can't even sum it up no better than that, man. Look, we have
I can't hear you.
Now? You can't hear me?
Oh, I can hear you now. At first you was
lagging, man. I said we coming to a close on this here episode. Yeah, it's time to go. Anyway, guys, man, we love y'all. We appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in. If you've been here this long, make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe, do all things down below on the ticker. Let's 5 stars, everything. And if you don't, I forgive you. We'll do it next time. See you on next episode. It's your boy Jay Leg, and she's been
your girl Jess.
We out at 5,000. See y'all at the conference. Peace.